One of the best movies that's ever been made that has a lot of management and leadership principles is Apollo 13. If you recall, it's a lunar mission that went bad. They didn't have resources to come back to the Earth. And the management teams from all different departments have to come together and bring them back. What I want to cover is how do we communicate bad news to team members and yet gain their support and their buy-in instead of doing what most of us do in the workplace, and that is we blame others. When you're a middle manager, where you're a team leader and you're brought into a meeting, a decision's being made, or it has been made, or you're being asked to contribute to participate in a decision that you know is not going to be favorable for your people. You have a tough decision to make. Jim Lowell, played by Tom Hanks, gets pulled into a meeting with some of the higher-ups where they tell him they have some very bad news for him. Is that one of their team members, Ken Mattingly, played by Gary Sinise, is not going to be able to go on the mission. And the reason is because he has the measles, or at least he's got the beginnings, symptoms of the measles.
You want to break up my crew 2 days before the launch, when we can predict each other's moves.
Tom Hanks is being notified that, look, you're the team leader. It's really your call. He knew that I've been working for this, and he even appeals to them.
I've trained for the Frowmore Highlands.
Jim,
he's not going to go, so you make the call. Either he doesn't go, or all three of you don't go.
It's your decision.
When Gary Sinise was told, he was distraught. He just couldn't believe it. That moment is when managers tend to just lose it because they just feel for their team members. The Ken Mattingly character says,
"You sure about this, Jim? I mean, why don't I go upstairs and talk to Deke? I'm sure we can work this out."
And it's right there. It's at that moment of truth. It's right there where Jim Lowell stands in true leadership and says,
"This was my call."
The wave, the shock that Ken Mattingly feels, you can just tell he is angry with him. He leaves extremely, extremely angry. The reason why managers tend to soften it up some is because they don't want to make their people upset. And they know they're going to get shot by them a lot, and they're going to be critiqued by them. Managers, they would create an incredible amount of buy-in from their people if they stand the ground and they're the ones who tell the team, this is what was decided and I agreed with it. And then take the hit for all that comes, and you be the manager, you be the one that answers all the tough questions, and you stand your ground and you persuade them. We don't have the luxury of being able to tell the team members that, look, it wasn't me. They need to go through that moment of shock, but they need to see that their leader stood his or her ground and says, I made that decision. And you appeal to yourself. And as managers, we have a hard time. We tend to just look over here and go, it was them. You're almost asking for favors. Come on, guys. We can do this, huh? We can do this. And people just don't respond well to that. You actually lose respect. Man, what's the point? Why all this? It's because it's all about courage. You had the courage to come and give them bad news. And then later, in the midst of the project, you're all in hot water, or you guys are having to make a decision. The only thing that will get them to step up and be courageous and do bold things is from the model that you gave them, when they saw you be courageous towards them. So follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check us out our new website at teamrealworld.com.